In this lesson, we'll cover linking an architect's Revit model to your MEP project. Let's say you're working on a project and it's specifically for mechanical, electrical, and plumbing. But what you would like to do is bring in or link to your architect's model. And let's say the architect is also using Revit and they've already designed the building inside of Revit. So what you would like to do is see that building, the walls, doors, windows, and other elements in your model as well. So to do that, we'll want to link their architectural Revit model to your MEP project. So to do that, let's go to the Insert tab on the ribbon. Go ahead and click Insert. And then all the way to the left, click Link Revit. This will open up a window asking you to choose what Revit file you'd like to link to your current project. And you can link as many Revit files as you want. So you could link in the architectural project, maybe the structural project, or any other projects. The project we're going to use to link in is going to be one of the sample projects that is installed with Revit when you install the Revit application. On my screen, it's going to be the one called RAC Basic Sample Project. And where you can find that is on the C drive, Program Files, Autodesk. Depending on the version of Revit you have installed, Revit 2013, 2014, 2015, and then Samples. And then again, choose RAC, that's the architectural template, Basic Sample Project. Now, before you click Open, all the way at the very bottom, you have a couple positioning options. The first one is Center to Center. This would work if the center of our model was exactly the same as their model, but technically that's not always the case. Origin to origin is probably the best. That's kind of like your XYZ coordinate, 0, 0, 0. So that origin point should be the same in both projects. Now, if you have exact coordinates that they give you, that they tell you to actually map to, then you could use by shared coordinates. And you have the 3 manual options as well by simply picking. In this example here, and in most examples, you'll actually choose Auto Origin to Origin. Now, with the RAC Basic Sample Project selected above and the positioning set Origin to Origin, click Open. What will happen now is Revit will link in the architectural Revit project to your actual MEP project that we're looking at right now. To see this link, you could click on Manage Links in the link area underneath the Insert tab. Go ahead and click Manage Links. This would show you all of the files you have linked to your current Revit project. The first tab is Revit, and it's showing me here the Revit file that I currently have linked to my project. You could, if you wanted to, reload this or unload the project or add additional ones. Go ahead and click OK. Now, a few things to note about when you link other Revit files to your current project. Typically, by default, the visibility of different elements is ruled or governed by the current project. So for example, I'm looking at a floor plan right now, and that floor plan has certain visibility elements turned on or off. Therefore, when I'm looking at this Revit architectural model, being that it's linked in, its visibility is set the same. Now, to see that information, let's look at the actual visibility settings. So let's go to the View tab on the ribbon. All the way to the left in the Graphics area, choose Visibility Graphics. This will display your basic visibility settings for model and annotation settings. However, because we linked in a Revit file, you now have an additional tab all the way to the right called Revit Links. Go ahead and click that. This shows the Revit file that is linked in. Now, by default, the display settings are set to By Host View. Meaning whatever view you're looking at in your project browser in the lower left, however that view is configured based on its visibility, this linked Revit model will display the same view settings. Now you could change that if you want to. For example, if you click By Host View, you're now given an option to set this by a linked view or custom. If you select Custom, that means you override any current settings in the view I'm looking at and specifically tell this linked view inside of Revit what you visually want to see and what you visually don't want to see. And you could do the same thing for model categories, annotations, and the other elements. Here it's in a drop-down window. Go ahead and click OK. and then go ahead and click OK again. So in this lesson, what we looked at is how to link in other Revit files, specifically an architectural file, into our current Revit MEP project file. To do that, we went to the Insert tab, and on the Insert tab, we chose Link Revit. Then we selected the Revit project we wanted to link in. As far as origin, we set it origin to origin. To manage the links, you can click on Manage Links on the Insert part of the ribbon. And then you can also look at the visibility graphics from the View tab on the ribbon to see how the visibility is currently set. By default, it's using the host of whatever view you're looking at, or you can override that and create your own custom settings for the linked Revit file.